Hello everyone, welcome to Pharma Elite and a very good morning to you all. Today we are here with the 15th video from our Elite Master Plan series. In case you have missed any of our previous videos, you can go to our YouTube channel Dharmesh Mehta GPAT and watch the videos anytime later. Today we will be discussing few MCQs from the subject of chromatography, that is from pharmaceutical analysis. Let's move to the first question. The condition which is maintained in programmed temperature GC, that is गैस क्रोमेटोग्राफी, ऐसे कौन सा कंडीशन है जो हमें मेंटेन रखना पड़ता है इन प्रोग्राम्ड टेम्परेचर GC? Temperature of the entire column is raised, temperature of the detector is raised, temperature of sample injector is raised, temperature of the recorder is raised. One thing which we all know that in chromatography what is very much important is the column. Everything that is in chromatography will depend upon the performance of column, that is a separation technique. So all the features and all the outputs of the chromatographic technique will mainly depend on the column. That is the main aspect in chromatography. For precise result, column temperature must be controlled. Also, optimum column temperature will depend upon the boiling point of the sample. That is, what type of sample we are analyzing, what is its boiling point, और उसके ऊपर column का temperature depend करेगा. If the sample is having a wide boiling range, then the temperature programming can be used. That is, a range of temperature can be useful. Therefore, if the temperature of the entire column has to be raised to in programmed temperature GC, there is no point in raising the temperature of the detector or the sample injector or the recorder, because column is the one which will control the separation efficiency. Therefore, if temperature has to be raised, it is of the column. Let's move to the next question. In a typical HPLC analysis, the retention time of a compound A. HPLC is high performance liquid chromatography. The retention time of a compound A will increase with increase in mobile phase flow rate, will decrease with increase in flow rate of mobile phase, will not be affected by the flow rate of mobile phase, will not elute at all from the column. Now remember, HPLC is a type of liquid chromatographic technique. The separating components of the mixture, that is the separation of components from the mixture, is based upon the interaction between the stationary phase and mobile phase. And it is definitely, since chromatography is a separating technique, the component will elute. So option D, that is will not elute at all, is wrong. ऐसे तो नहीं होगा. Maybe it will take a time, but definitely the component is going to elute. So if will not elute at all is going to be a wrong thing. Will not be affected by the flow rate of mobile phase. ऐसे तो नहीं हो सकता. Retention time. Now what do you mean by retention time? It is the time taken for the component to elute from the column, that is after injection, and how long it takes to come out of the column is retention. How strongly the component will be retained is again dependent on how much it binds. If it binds more to the stationary phase, the retention time is going to increase. If the binding is lesser to the stationary phase, then the retention time has to decrease. Now obviously how much it is bound and how fast it is going to elute out will depend upon the flow rate of mobile phase, right? Therefore retention time is affected by flow rate. To elute it out, what is the thing we are using is the mobile phase. So obviously how fast or how slow the mobile phase is moving will affect the retention time. Therefore option C is wrong. Option A, the retention time will increase with increase in mobile phase flow rate. This is also wrong, because how strongly a component is retained, if it is more retained, it will take a longer time to elute. So if we increase the speed of mobile phase flow rate, definitely it will try to elute out faster. So if we increase the mobile phase flow rate, elution will be faster, then retention time has to decrease. So this increase is wrong. Will decrease with increase in mobile phase flow rate. Is it correct? See, as we are adding the mobile phase flow rate, it is moving faster, so retention has to decrease. यानी कि कंपाउंड या सैंपल जल्दी से जल्दी इल्यूट हो जाए, मतलब रिटेंशन टाइम कम होगा और मोबाइल फेस फ्लो रेट बढ़ेगा, तो retention time कम होगा and elution will be faster. So option B is the correct one. Before we move to the next question, do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also make sure you have pressed the bell icon so that you get a reminder when we post a video next time. We have our free WhatsApp groups wherein we are posting daily MCQs for GPAT, NIPER and other exams and pharma related updates, job openings. If you are interested, please do drop a text on the below mentioned WhatsApp number and we will add you to our groups. Let's move to the next question. The most commonly used detector in liquid chromatography. क्वेश्चन ये है कि सबसे कॉमनली लिक्विड क्रोमेटोग्राफी में कौन सा डिटेक्टर यूज होता है. ये क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने के लिए हमें सिर्फ क्रोमेटोग्राफिक टेक्निक्स के नाम और डिटेक्टर्स कौन से यूज होते हैं इनके नाम याद रखना जरूरी है. ऑप्शन यूवी, थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी, रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स, फ्लेम आयोनाइजेशन. Remember, HPLC is the type of liquid chromatographic technique, that is high performance liquid chromatographic technique. Now let us look at one by one the detectors which I use. Flame ionization detector. This is the most commonly used detector in GC. That is a destructive type of detector which is used for organic compounds. What is a refractive index? It is a bulk property detector which is used in HPLC. HPLC is liquid. हमें क्या पूछा है? Most commonly used. देखते हैं और भी कोई डिटेक्टर लिक्विड क्रोमेटोग्राफी में यूज होता है क्या. Thermal conductivity, that is the universal detector in gas chromatography, very commonly used. And flame ionization is for organic compounds. It is a destructive type of detector. And UV detector, which is most widely used in HPLC. So UV detector is used in HPLC and bulk property detector is used in HPLC. So the correct answer here is UV detector, which is used in liquid chromatography. Remember a few features of the detectors which are very prominent in characters. Diffractive index detector, which is used as a bulk property detector in HPLC. It is very sensitive to changes in temperature and it cannot be used in case of gradient elution. Like there are different elution techniques, right? So in that, when gradient elution is there, you cannot use a refractive index detector. A typical length of the analytical column is usually 5 to 25 centimeter. Let us move to the next question. The principle of separation in thin layer chromatography is dash. मतलब हमें क्वेश्चन ये पूछ रहा है कि थिन लेयर क्रोमेटोग्राफी का प्रिंसिपल क्या है, सेपरेशन का प्रिंसिपल क्या है. दैट इज इन TLC व्हाट इज द सेपरेशन प्रिंसिपल. Adsorption, partition, formation of diastereomers, both A and B. Let us have a look. In thin layer chromatography, the stationary phase is made up of solid and the mobile phase is made up of a liquid. मतलब हमें ये पता है कि थिन लेयर क्रोमेटोग्राफी में स्टेशनरी फेज क्या होता है और मोबाइल फेज क्या होता है. मतलब ऐसे सॉलिड है तो मोबाइल फेज जो लिक्विड है ये सॉलिड है. सपोज दिस इज अ TLC प्लेट. So the mobile phase is adsorbed onto the solid support of the stationary phase. Formation of diastereomers, this is the one which is used in chiral chromatography. It is a type of chromatographic technique. Partition, this is used in paper chromatography and gas liquid chromatography. Partition is the main principle in paper and gas chromatography. Adsorption is widely used in thin layer chromatography and gas solid chromatography. Now what is adsorption? Adsorption matlab the solid is taken as the stationary phase and the liquid is adsorbed onto the surface of this stationary phase. मतलब adsorption होता है. और both A and B मतलब क्या, what is common in both A and B is that is gas liquid chromatography. So that is also not an answer. So the main separation principle in thin layer chromatography is adsorption. Partition is also different. It is the separation of the components between two liquid phases. And here in TLC we are having solid and liquid. Paper chromatography is separation of distribution between two immiscible. See, This is between two immiscible, and here we are having a solid and liquid, so it has to be adsorption. It cannot be partition. It cannot be diastereomers because we are not having any chiral chromatographic here. It is used for separation of diastereomers from an enantiomeric mixture. That is separation of a particular isomer from an enantiomeric mixture, and ultimately it results in formation of diastereomers. This is what is chiral chromatography. Next one, the technique which is used to measure the mass of volatile analytes in solid samples. ऐसे कौन सा टेक्निक है जिससे हम volatile analyte का मास मेजर करते हैं in case of a solid sample? Option GCMS, headspace GC, headspace GCMS, capillary column GC. अब इन सब का मतलब क्या है? GC मतलब gas chromatography, MS is mass spectroscopy. So we basically you need to remember this table, which is very important. GCMS, that is a combination of gas chromatography with mass spectroscopy. It is used for determination of solid and liquid samples by vaporization. That is, it vaporizes the sample and then the mass is found by mass spectroscopy. हमें पता है ना, MS, that is mass spectroscopy, is used to find out mass of the sample. So first we vaporize the sample by GC and then the mass is found by mass spectroscopy. This is both a qualitative as well as a quantitative technique that is used for esters, fatty acids, alcohols and aldehydes. It is headspace GC, that is determination of volatile constituents in the sample. Headspace technique means the gas which is in the headspace of a sealed container. Say this is a container and the gas which is in the headspace, that is at the top of the sealed container. This gas is used for analysis. It is directly sent into a chromatographic column for separation and used. So headspace GCs, mostly headspace techniques are used for volatile constituents in the samples by analyzing the vapor phase. This is a qualitative technique only. It is used for volatile organic compounds. Then headspace GCMS, that is again GC is combined with mass spectroscopy. Since it is a headspace techniques, it will be used for volatile constituents, analyzing the vapor phase, and then the mass is measured by mass spectroscopy. Here it is not combined with mass, here it is combined with mass, therefore it is qualitative as well as quantitative. Again used for volatile organic compounds. Capillary column GC, a very narrow tube. Capillary मतलब क्या, एकदम narrow tube आता है, like a capillary, which we all have seen in our lab and other demo experiments. So this is a very narrow tube in which a stationary phase is coated in the interior surface, and this is used to analyze the individual chemicals in a sample. It is just used for analysis, therefore it is qualitative. It checks the purity of gold in jeweler's shop. Since it is qualitative, it is used for checking purity. We cannot measure it. It is just qualitative, not quantitative. So what is the question? हमें क्या पूछा है? ऐसे कौन सा टेक्निक है जो मास ऑफ वॉलेटाइल एनालाइट्स मेजर करता है फॉर सॉलिड सैंपल्स? सो मास ऑफ वॉलेटाइल एनालाइट्स ऑफ सॉलिड सैंपल्स. सो therefore the correct answer here is headspace GCMS. यहाँ भी मास है, यहाँ भी मास, यहाँ मास है, यहाँ भी मास है, लेकिन वॉलेटाइल सैंपल्स बोला है. So we have to use headspace technique. Let us move to the next question. Silica gel 60F254 contains dash. Gypsum as a binder, fluorescent indicator, no binder, both A and B. अब ये क्या है? Silica gel is a binder. Now why binders are used? Binders are very commonly used in chromatography, right? So we need to use the binder to improve the adsorption properties, right? So what is gypsum? It is a typical binder which is used. That is silica gel. G always stands for gypsum. F254. F meaning fluorescent and 254 is the wavelength at which it absorbs. Therefore, silica gel is gypsum is used as a binder. It is a fluorescent indicator. And when there is no binder, it is silica gel H. Fluorescent indicator is F254. Gypsum as a binder in silica gel G and silica gel G F254. So the correct answer here is both A and B. silica gel to this. In this case, when we use gypsum as a binder, that is calcium sulfate hemihydrate, this binder is added to help in better adsorption, that is attachment to the plates. And terminal OH groups which are present in the silica gels, they provide active sites for binding, and thus they increase the chromatographic technique, that is the efficiency of technique is increased. Hence we ideally use the one which is having a binder, and the most common binder is gypsum. Thank you everyone for watching the video. Stay tuned, more videos are coming soon.